Introduction. Education, according to the Greek, comes from the word pedagogy, that is, from the word ped meaning child and agagos meaning the guide, which is why the term pedagogy can be interpreted as the art and science of teaching children, whereas in the Roman language education comes from the word educare, which is to use and demand, the act of realizing the potential of the child who is brought about when he is born. Definition of education according to Reja Mudiaharjo in 2021. Education is life. Education is any learning effort that takes place in the environment and throughout life. Education is any life situation that affects the growth and development of an individual. Education is also something that must be taken by every Indonesian citizen, as that in the 1945 Constitution, Article 31, Paragraph 1, which reads every citizen has the right to get an education. Based on the Constitution, every Indonesian citizen has the right to get compulsory education in order to educate sons and daughters. Of course, to advance this country, the need for interactive media as a learning medium to explain something abstract and acceptably in early childhood. Teachers are professional educators with the main task of education, teaching, guiding, directing, training, assessing, and evaluating learners and early childhood pathways of formal education, basic education, and secondary education is school. The implementation of teacher that this is reflected in the learning process. In the process, the teacher must provide learning information. Specifically, the information is learning material Ilham Wayu Hidayat year 2020. Learning medium, according to Suraya 2012, is a tool that helps the learning process to learn, to teach, and function to clarify the meaning of the message or the information conveyed, so that it can achieve the learning objective that have been planned. Based on preliminary observation made at SMPI Al Abidin Banyu Anyar Surakarta, especially the ICT class, it got result, namely the learning process using learning media that was not easy for students to understand and was not accessible on Android device. Therefore, research want to design an Android-based learning media by using the constructed application, which is an HTML5 based game making tool specifically for the two-dimension platform developed by Sarah. This learning media accept to help the learning process and improve the result of understanding learning in programming language subject about getting to know the types of programming language and their function with Android-based conceit, considering that there are still many students who don't have laptops or personal computer device. And then this research has the following objective: A. Developing programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta, and B. Analyzing the effectiveness and feasibility of programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta. Research and method. Research design. The development model of this research is research and development, or R&D, using the ADDIA development method, namely analyze the use of media and media needs in class ICT subject for the student in the class ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta. Design. At the design stage, the data analysis technique used is a qualitative analysis to process the observational data into information that will be used as a reference in making design of programming. Development. In the development stage, the creation of the learning media use the constructive platform, which is an HTML5 based game creation tool specifically for the two-dimensional platform developed by Sarah. Evaluation. In the evaluation stage of PACE, the data analysis technique carried out is a descriptive quantitative. Quantitative data analysis technique are carried out on the data from the product design validation, the result to media expert and material expert in the form the questionnaires that will be processed and used as the final result of the percentage. Okay, and this the formula used is taken from the system usability scale. Questionnaire which is given to students to test the feasibility of the product to be processed and used as the final result of the percentage. The formula used is taken from the system usability scale or SUS by Sarvina and Santoso 2016. Result and discussion. Learning media to this programming language is tested for validation by material expert and media expert with an average score of 87.5, which indicates a very visible category and can be used in the research process at the field test stage at a test of the validity and reliability of the questions by the class without treatment was carried out where the Soal test consisted of 70 questions. Of the 17 questions, 7 questions were declared invalid and 10 questions were declared failed. The 10 questions were then used in the research process. Furthermore, a reliability test was carried out to test the consistency of the valid questions item used and show the equations of alpha corn batch value of 0.88 as in table 2 of the reliability the result. Furthermore, the result of the post-test used 10 questions that have been validated on and obtained a comparison of the average value of 15 as for before the use of media. Students get an average learning outcome score of 60, 83, and after using media, students get a average learning outcome score of 75, 83. The post-test result data is then tested for normality to determine the distribution of normal variables or not using the Shapiro-Wilk or Kolmogorov-Smirnov techniques with the IBM SPSS for Windows 21 application. The table normality, the result in cell by table for normality test result as follows. Based on table 4 of the normality test result, it can be seen that the normality test result on the value of the training result before using learning media are 0 to 0.005, and the normality test on the result of the Latiha or post test after using the media is 0.157.005, and the Shapiro-Wilk normality test with the result of the before using the media was 0.421 and 0.005, and the normality test on the post-test result after using media, which indicates that the population of this study is homogeneous. Programming language and had received score from the learning and the 31 students who had studied the material introduction. Based on the result of the test programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta was able to provide a significantly different comparison to the learning outcomes of class X students. Therefore, the decision of hypothesis testing in this quiz experiment is that there is significant difference in the learning outcomes between before and after using learning media programming language, where the mean of the result of each exercise after using the media 15 points higher compared to the result of the values before using the media. So this application is effective to use. The product feasibility was a test was carried out by distributing a usability scale SUS system questionnaire consistent of 10 questions to students with the result of the average score of the questionnaire score was 7234, which means that the score is in the acceptable category as shown by figure 2 of the following SUS test diagram. Concluding. The conclusion of the result of this study are as follows. Programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta. This learning media contains program language introduction material equipment with practice questions. Number two, product manufacturing using several applications is Adobe Photoshop and Corel Draw, which are used to create images that support the needs in making programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta. The average percentage of result from tests on media expert and material expert state that the programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta is the category of very feasible to use. Number three, the effective and feasibility test of the product is carried out at the implementation stage, where the effective is test with a post-test before and after use of media. The average post-test score was compared to see the effective effective of the product with the t-test, where the HA obtained was there is a significant difference between student learning outcome before and after using programming language learning media in the ICT class of SMP Al Abidin Surakarta, with an average difference of 15, where the average value is the score before using the media is 6083, the average score after using the media is 7583. So this learning media is effective for use in improving student learning outcomes. Furthermore, feasibility testing is carried out with a system usability scale or SUS questionnaire, which will be filled out by students and get a score of 7223 based on the result of the calculation of the average SUS score. It is included in the acceptable category with class scale of C and a rating of excellent according to the table formulation of SUS achievement put forward by Sarvina and Santoso 2016. Thank you for your attention.